So I may be stuck in between, but let me start it. Acha, by the way, one question I need to ask you. So many of the topic I covered earlier before midsem. So and mostly those topic I basically I play the video and then you listen it. Okay, is that mode of teaching do you feel is not good? I should teach directly. So instead of recording, playing the video, I should teach directly. That is you want, or it's what way I am teaching is fine. You need to respond.
Slightly better.
Sir, whatever way you want to prefer, like both is fine.
So in today's class, we'll be talking about support vector machine. So here we go. That is or SVM. Okay. So basically whatever we studied earlier. So what is the main objective? This is a classification problem, as I said. So this classification problem, as I said earlier, we need to classify the new instances given that we have a set of training data set. Okay. So simplest example I told earlier also many times. Let's say we have two class problem. That means we have two classes. So one is, let's say, positive class. Okay, then positive sample. Another is, let's say, negative sample somewhere here, here and there. Okay. Now essentially if you go for any classification technique you learned, either it is a decision tree or Bayes classifier or maybe KNN, so or distance based classifier, but essentially it wants actually to create a decision boundary. Okay, so that if it is above the decision boundary or within the decision boundary, then it is a some class, let's say positive class. Otherwise outside the decision boundary it is negative class. So this is something called the decision boundary. Okay. So now if you have some positive sample and there are some negative sample as I have shown you here, so you can draw a line that clearly separate the positive sample and negative sample. Let's say you can have a line something like that. You can have a line something like that. So there may be a infinite number of line that can separate the positive sample and negative sample. Okay. So in support vector machine, basically it tries to find a line which basically maximize the separation between the positive sample and negative sample. Okay. So this is the introduction for the support vector machine. As you can see, there may be a positive sample, negative sample. Instead of these two lines, one can also draw the line something like that. Okay, so that also separate the positive sample and negative sample. Okay, so therefore in support vector machine, we'll find a line which basically separates, separate the positive sample and negative sample in maximum, what is called is like in maximum, it creates a maximum separation between positive and negative sample. So that is the main task of the support vector machine. As I said that there may be an infinite number of lines. So we have to find the right or correct line. Okay, in case of the say 2D, or in case of the multiple dimension, we have to find the right plane which basically separate the positive and negative sample. Okay, so this is the part of the support vector machine. Now task is to find that line means obviously line equation we need to find, that which line equation will separate the positive and negative sample, so that separation between positive and negative would be the maximum. Okay, so this is the support vector machine, but in today's class we will see how we can find such line. Okay, so here we go. So let's say we have as usual we have some positive sample here, we have negative sample here somewhere. Okay, so now what do you do it, we draw two straight line, one passing through the positive sample, another is passing through the negative sample, and we can say we have a line something like that. So this is the line, that is we want to find this line. Okay, so therefore what we can do it, so if any point is somewhere here, because it is line of this side, so we'll say this is the negative example, and if it is somewhere above this line, then we'll say it is a positive sample. Okay, and what we do it, let's say this is a street here. Okay, so we have a street and this is the width of the street. Okay, and then we have a vector that is perpendicular to the line, let's say perpendicular to the street, that is something called u vector. Okay, so therefore what we can do it, if any line is somewhere here, we can project the line on the vector u. So what we can write it here, say sorry, we have a vector that is w. W is the vector which is perpendicular to the street. Okay, now what you do it, we have a point, let's say u. Okay, so we need to identify the class level of u. So what we do it, we project the point u on the vector which is perpendicular to the street. Okay, that means which is perpendicular to the straight line. Okay, so if you take the projection of the vector u, that point u, how do you get the vector? If you connect to the origin, then obviously this is a vector. Okay, now if you project this vector on the vector w, so that may come somewhere here, and because it is this dot value is, if you, what is this projection? Projection is nothing but u dot w vector, and if it is greater than say some constant c, okay, so then we can say it is a positive sample, and if it is not, then we'll say it is the negative sample. Okay, so therefore, did you understand? Say we have a vector that is perpendicular to the street, so that is w. Okay, so that is actually we want to find that which straight line. So we find a straight line which has a perpendicular vector w. Okay, now what you do it, for any point we project the point on this vector, and therefore what will happen? So if that length crosses this line, then we'll say it is a positive sample, otherwise you will say it is a negative sample. So here what we can write, so U is unknown sample dot W, okay, plus some B is greater than equal to 0, okay, where you can write B equal to minus C, okay. If this is the case, then we can say, so this is the positive sample for the unknown point U, otherwise it is negative sample for the unknown point U. Is it clear? So this is something called the decision rule. So this is something called decision rule. Okay. Now what do we have to do? We have to find this W. This is the task of W. As you can see, this is the unknown object here. And we have to find this B also. So once we get this W and B, then we are done. So that is the task of the support vector machine. So we have to find the W and B. Once we get this one, then we just plug the value of U and we take a dot product, and if value is greater than 0, then we'll say it is the positive sample, otherwise it is negative sample. So this is something called the decision rule, and we can give the equation number 1 here. Okay. So now what we can do it more. So suppose we have a positive sample here. So then what we can write? So instead of U, what we can write it? Let's say W into X positive sample plus B greater than equal to 1. Okay. So if exactly 0, say suppose if it is the positive sample here, so then we put this is the equation for exactly 0, and then we assume if it is away from the point, so it is for the positive sample. Okay, this was for this line, so that was greater than equal to 0. For positive sample, this is greater than equal to 1. Okay, and then what will happen for the negative sample? W into negative sample plus B, it should be less than equal to minus 1. Okay, so if it is somewhere here, so then it is the negative sample, otherwise it is positive. Okay, so now we have two equation here. So what we do it, we make these two equation into a single one. We'll make it two constant. So we want to find the W such that these two constant must be satisfied. Okay, so in order to do it, what we can do, we multiply with the class level of the each sample, that is X plus or X minus. So if I do it here, so what we can get it Wi. What is Wi? Wi is the class level. So these are the training data set. Xi and Yi. Xi is the sample points and Yi is the class level of the sample point. So what we do it, and class level will be positive or negative, +1 or -1. Okay. So now what we do it, say we multiply Yi with this equation here. If sample is positive, so therefore Yi into W into X Xi plus B greater than equal to 1. Similarly, we multiply Yi, that is class level, with this just second these equations. So let's say this equation is 3. So this equation is 2. So then what happened? If we multiply with Yi, what is the value of Yi? Yi is class level is negative. So therefore what will happen? Yi into W into x negative sample, okay, plus b greater than equal to 1. Because if you put the value -1 here, so that is yi. If you put the, if we multiply with -1, so then this will change. It will be greater than, this part will be greater than, and then equation will be 1. So basically both are the same equation. This will be applicable for the positive sample, and this one will be applicable to negative sample. Okay. So now what you can do it, so we have two things to note down. So first here, what we got it, say yi into w into w bar into xi plus b minus 1 greater than equal to 0. Okay. So now if the point is exactly on the street here, so if it is greater than 1, this is the situation here. Now if the point is exactly on the gutter, so then this will be the exact value here. So we can write yi into wx for positive sample plus b minus 1 greater than equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, if any negative sample on the gutter, so what we can write it exactly the yi into w into x negative sample plus b minus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So this is, we can give 4 and this is 5. Now what was the decision rule? Decision rule was this one. Okay. So now if you move, so decision rule was u into w, next is plus b, and on the gutter it is 0. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to find the widest street, right? So therefore in this equation, what we have to find, we have to find the width of this street, and that should be maximized. Okay. So what we can do it, we can have another picture here. Say what we wanted to do it here. This is negative sample. This is positive sample, and we have line something like that. Okay. And we have w. So negative, this is x minus sample, this is x plus sample. Okay. So we have a vector here. Similarly, we'll have a vector here, and this will be the width of the street. Okay. So this is not the width of the street, this is the vector, that is x plus minus x minus. Okay. And width will be this one. Okay, so this is W, width WI. Okay, so you have to find this width. Okay, so this width is nothing but, what is that? So this width is nothing but if you project this vector, that is this vector, on the perpendicular to the street, then we'll get this width. So therefore, or we can write it more formally, that is margin is equal to, that is x minus x. Okay, so what you do, this vector is nothing but, this is a positive sample, this is the vector here, a negative sample is vector here, so therefore this vector will be this minus this. Okay, now what you do it, so this vector we project, that is x plus minus x minus, we project on the perpendicular vector, so this should be vector W, and obviously unit vector. Okay, so this is the margin. So do you have any confusion? Any confusion you have? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, then what we have to do it, we have to find this margin. Now just before this equation, just before what we got it here, here what we got it, this is equal to, if it is here, what is that? So for positive sample, what will happen? W bar into, this is 1, positive sample, this is 1, W bar into X positive sample plus B minus 1 equal to 0. And for negative sample, this will be minus 1. So this will be W bar into X minus sample minus B. I think there is any problem. Okay. Minus B. And then what we are doing, we are multiplying with Y. We are multiplying with Yi. Yi is only this portion. Okay. I think we should move here. So we multiply with Yi. Yeah, we multiply with only this portion, right? Because we, yeah, this one, this is okay, fine. So we multiply with Y1. So this will be minus, this will be minus, and then this will be minus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So therefore W into X minus sample equal to 1 plus B, and this will be W into X positive sample equal to 1 minus B. Okay, so this value we know, that is 1 minus B. So minus of W bar, this value we know, that is 1 plus B.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, the previous equation which you explained, like the second last and the last lines here, can you please explain it once again? How did we get minus b here?
Which one?
So that minus w into x minus
Okay,
sample
okay,
minus b.
okay,
That one.
okay. So here, this is for positive sample. Okay. So for positive sample, what is the class level? That is +1. Okay. So therefore, yi value of yi is nothing but the +1. Okay. For negative sample class level is -1. So that is the -1 here. So that means -1 is multiplied with this one and then this one. So therefore we get minus w into x. So all are vector minus b minus 1. Is it okay?
Oh, yes, sir,
Okay.
got it. Thank you, sir.
Because here what we learn it here. See, we did it up to here. This is the sample xi and then we got two equation. So interestingly, if we multiply with the class level of the individual sample, what will get it? So this is positive sample. So class level will be positive +1. So therefore yi is multiplied. So yi for positive sample, it is the class level. So this will remain the same thing. For what happened for the negative sample, if we multiply with -1, so this will be +1 and this symbol, because you are multiplying with -1, this lesser than will change with greater than, so therefore it will be greater than 1. Okay, so therefore now you have basically the one equation. Only you need to remember key this value of yi will be +1 for the positive sample and it will be -1 for the negative sample. So that is done here. So here this is the equation here, and now what you do it here. So if we multiply for because we are talking about this was, see, this was for the in general equation for this was the in general equation for any sample. We don't consider for either positive or negative. This will be true. Now once we put for the positive sample, this will be exactly the one value and this will be the negative value. We are not writing here. Here you go. So here what we see it, you put the value of yi equal to 1. So this will be the equation here. Now you will get w dot x positive sample equal to 1 minus b. Similarly, if we multiply y equal to, because it is a negative sample we are talking about, so therefore this will be w minus, because this is -1 and this will be also minus b. This was earlier also -1, so it will be 1. Now what is the value of minus w dot x negative sample is nothing but 1 plus b. So therefore we have two things here. The value of this one is 1 minus b and this one is 1 plus b. Okay. So now what we wanted to do here, we wanted to find the margin. So what is margin? Margin is nothing but I write m equal to x positive sample into dot product of w minus x negative sample into dot product of the w. Okay, and then we have C1 by magnitude of w. Now just few minutes before we computed this value, what was the value here? That is w dot x equal to 1 minus b. It is the same thing because it is a dot product. Order of vector won't be any problem. So therefore this will be 1 minus b. So this will be 1 minus b. And what is the entire value of this one? So this will be 1 plus b. So this will be plus 1 plus b. Okay. And then this will be w here, magnitude of w. So therefore margin of this thing will be 2 by w. Okay. So therefore what we have to do, we have to maximize this margin. Okay. So then now problem is coming here. So what we have to do, we have to maximize, what is that, maximize 2 by W subject to constraint, what is yi xi wi, what is that, yi xi plus b minus 1 equal to greater than equal to 0. Okay, so now this is a optimization problem. So instead of doing this one, what we can do it, we can write minimizing, just you put the reciprocal half of W subject to constraint of yi xi wi plus b minus 1 greater than equal to 0. Okay, but so minimizing a, because this is the magnitude positive value, so minimizing x, if it is x is greater than 0, instead of doing so, what in general it is done is you put it x square. So that will be more mathematically convenient to handle this entire thing. So therefore, what is finally done is we'll minimize the thing. Problem was maximization, I put it reciprocal, and then because it is minimizing some positive magnitude, positive value is same as minimizing the square of that positive value. So then it won't be any problem. So therefore, this will be half of these vectors magnitude square subject to the constant yi xi w vector plus b minus 1 greater than equal to 0. Okay. Now, see, problem we started at some point, now it is boils down to the problem that is a minimization problem. Okay. For this type of minimization, okay, so if there is a something quadratic function, okay, and then constants are not, say, linear, okay, constant are, say, what is called inequality. In that case, linear, obviously, in inequality we need to handle it in different way. So there are something called Lagrangian optimization. So we need to handle that Lagrangian optimization. Okay. So for that we need to go through rigorous mathematics. Okay. So that now we need to go through. Okay. So are you with me or not? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So now the problem is here. So we have to minimize this value subject to constant. We have the two variable, as from the very beginning we said we need to know, because decision rule here, if you see what was the decision rule at the beginning, decision rule was something we have to find this W and B. So what was the condition? To W will be such that separation between positive sample and negative sample should be maximized, and in the due process we learned that if we minimize this function with the two, this is the subject to the constant for yi xi, and this is applicable for the all sample in the dataset yi xi, then we have to minimize this part. For solving this minimization, we have to use some numerical, what is called some, numerical technique, okay, to solve this problem. Okay, so therefore, to solve this problem, we have something called Lagrangian technique. So that now we'll follow that. Okay, so I will use some slide where directly it is written. So I'll go through that slide. Okay. I think slide is visible to you. Okay. So let's see whether this PDF is something different, whether all are visible or not. Let me check. So for the people who are really interested, so they can go through this part. Okay. So this is the tutorial, and for your courtesy, this slide is taken from IIT Guwahati. Okay. So I have taken permission of this professor. So these are the things I am skipping. What who are interested may go through. This is something, it's like we need more understanding in mathematics, then only we can understand those things. This is the thing we are talking about. We want to find this margin, as I said. So, and this margin is, they formulated in the same way, but in different way. They found the margin is something called 2yw, but from the equation, what is the distance between origin to the plane, and then they subtracted the what is the distance from origin to this line and origin to this line, and they subtracted. Okay, so that way they found, and then finally what is the solution? We have to minimize this thing. This is the objective function, and subject to constraint is 1 minus this one, so it is lesser than 0, but in our case it was so greater than equal to 0. So if you multiply with minus 1, okay, so then this will be yiw dot xi plus b minus 1 greater than equal to 0. So it is the same thing here. Okay, then we need to use the Lagrangian method. Okay, so what is Lagrangian method? I will give you the brief overview, and if you are more interested, maybe I can take one more class on after studying it rigorously. Okay, so what we have to do it? So it is the problem is same thing. The problem is we have to minimize this, and here original Lagrangian problem is we have to minimize a function, and what is the constant? This constant is inequality. Constants are in inequality. So here is lesser than 0, but our problem was greater than 0. So therefore, what will be the Lagrangian from? So what is the great thing? What he did it? See, it is very difficult to handle. We have a constraint and we have an objective function. It is really difficult to handle. So instead of that, if we get a single function and then we start optimizing or minimizing, that will be much easier. So that is done by the Lagrangian. So Lagrange. So what he did it? So put a function here that is nothing but the function which is objective function, and then all constraints it put it here. But because it was lesser than equal to, but our was greater than equal to, so there should be a negative here. Okay. So, and then finally that will be satisfied by something called, okay, I can skip this part. Okay, so this part I'll then finally what will happen? We have to minimize this one with the subject of the constant is yiwi greater than equal to 0. So therefore Lagrangian will be this part. Okay, so let me, I think I should write, then it will be much easier. I don't know whether you are being easier or difficulties. Okay. Okay. So I should go to the old slide here. Okay. So now we have this part. So now you learn that there is something called in optimization technique is called the Lagrangian optimization. So we have to frame the problem into Lagrangian. So therefore, what we have to do? We have to write a function L. So that is nothing but the original function, that is half of W square. Okay. And then Lagrangian part. So sorry, the constant part is this part. So we have to write. So minus. Okay. What was the function here? Yeah, minus summation over some multiplier alpha I, and then multiplier will be multiplied with constant. So constant was yi, okay, yi w into xi plus what? Plus b minus 1, and this is the end, right? Yeah. So this is the Lagrangian. Okay. So now instead of having the so many constant, so we have a single function. Obviously this should be for the all sample I. Now what you do it, if you have a function, if you want to optimize, either minimize or maximize, what we do it, we derivative the function, and then that should be equal to 0, right? So there are two variables here, as I said from the very beginning, that is the vector W and another is B. Okay. But now what do we have to do? With del L with the vector dW, we have to derivative with respect to vector. How do you do it? Derivative with respect to vector. It is the same as if we divide the vector into the component, so then it will have a component like 2D or 3D vectors. Vector with two dimension or 3 dimension will have a 3 components, right? So now for each component we use the scalar component. Okay, scalar derivative. So in the similar way, here also we'll do it here. So that is what will happen here. This should be 0. But what will be the derivative? So these two will cancel out. So we'll have a W, and this will be a vector here, minus, we are derivating with respect to the W. So what will happen? Alpha I yi wi xi. So therefore summation over I alpha I yi w will vanish, wi and this xi. These all are vector. Please note that xi. Okay. And then what will happen? See this alpha I yi b, but there is no w and there is no other anything here. So this should be equal to 0. So therefore from here we want that w vector, that is the summation of alpha I yi xi. Okay. Now same thing, what we have to, we are missing anything. Now we have to do it del L del B. Okay. So this is nothing, this is 0. So now alpha yi wi xi, so there is no B. So this will not work. Next only B term is here, so that is alpha yi B. So therefore this will be minus summation over alpha I yi. That's all. This is 0. So from here, what we get it W equal to alpha I yi xi, and here alpha I1, so B is only here. So here what we get it summation over I alpha I yi equal to 0. This is 1, this is 1. Now what you do it, this W value you put in the original equation here. Okay. So if you put the original equation here, then what will get it? So maybe in the next stage we should get here okay. So then what will get it? Half of W square plus here, right, minus alpha I yi. So okay, first term is minus this plus no this is plus alpha I, right? So it should be plus alpha I. So summation over I alpha I. Now this is minus, this is done. Now we have to work here. So summation over alpha I yi w x. Okay. So let me write it here. Minus what? Minus summation over alpha I yi w into xi. Okay. And then minus alpha I yi b. Okay, so that is the case here. Alpha I yi w xi. Okay, summation minus alpha I yi wx, another is alpha I yi b. So here alpha I yi b and alpha I yi wxi. So here half of w square plus summation of alpha I minus alpha yi w. So we know that in previous equation w equal to alpha yi xi. Okay, so therefore alpha yi xi equal to w, right? So summation over alpha yi xi into w. Okay, this is minus summation over alpha yi b. Summation over this is a constant. So here what we can write, w2 plus summation over alpha I. So this is actually alpha yi xi. This is nothing but w, and this is dot product w. So this will give you the w square. Okay, and this is what b in summation over alpha yi. So here we have seen that summation over alpha yi is 0. So therefore what will have term, so this is minus w square, half of w square. So this is summation of alpha I minus half of w square. Okay, now what you do it, you put this value w again back. So therefore summation over alpha I minus half of summation of w is nothing but alpha I yi xi. So we'll have alpha I yi xi. Okay, and then we have 2w, so therefore alpha j yj Okay, xi dot xj. So now we have this. Now from here, what we have to do, we have to find this value of alpha, that is the Lagrangian multiplier, because we know that sample xi, yi, we know the coordinate of this one. So we have to find the Lagrangian multiplier here. So now problem is coming down to here, that we have to solve this equation here. Okay. So another way what we can do is, we got the W. What is W? W is summation over alpha yi and then yi xi. Okay. So in the decision boundary equation we had W. Okay. So decision boundary equation we had W, right? So what we can do it directly, if we get the value of W. Why it is not going? We get the value of W. So what directly we can do it, whatever the value that unknown object, so we multiply with W. W is summation over alpha I xi yi and alpha I yi xi. So then if we multiply it and then we should get the value of B, then we can get the decision boundary. So in the next class I'll continue this part. As you remember, we completed somewhere here, so we will continue from here. Okay, so little bit mathematics, but we don't have any option. We should look into this part. Okay, you are there or left? So by that I stop this today's class.
Thank you, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir.